Ce soir, nous sommes septembre et j'ai fermé ma chambre. Le soleil n'y entrera plus.
In my hand I have one Harmonizer. It's part of a complete system which is made to improve the room acoustics in that way that it helps the sound be transported by the air. There are some other items which belong to the system, like stones and diamonds, which have to be placed into the room accordingly so that everything works in a correct way. We will talk about the details of the system now and show how to set it up. Harmonizers are in the best way placed on the stands that are especially made for them. They should be mounted on a height of about 1 meter. We have at the back 3 options to connect or to switch or to level them. There is a switch. With the switch you may switch the harmonizer off or switch it on in the way that the light at the front is switched on, or also in the way that the light at the front is switched off. This position is very nice to use if you are using batteries, because the batteries will last about 2 years and you do not need an external power supply, so you have much more freedom to place the harmonizer in the room. This connector is for the power supply, which you will not need to use when you are using batteries. And one very important thing is the level setting for the intensity of the harmonizer. We recommend an intensity between 10 and 11 o'clock to start with. Too much will be too much in a way, that everything is too intense, too strong, and too low setting is not doesn't give enough intensity. Harmonizers are there in 2 different versions. There are A's and B's. The A version does a wide sound stage. The B gives more focus to the whole atmosphere and the music. And so they may be used in pairs. You may start with 2. A good setup is 4, which are in this case in the corners of the room, in the 4 corners, and that way that they face towards the center of the listening area. If you want to have a really nice setup, you may also use 6, where the 2 other ones are used in the middle of the room, facing each other's, so that we have a symmetrical thing installed. To set up the harmonizer properly, the intensity level should be adjusted properly. So you normally start at a level between 10 and 11 o'clock and take some time to accommodate with the changes in your system so that you are familiar with it. After a while you may give it a little bit more and listen to it again, and then also give it a little bit less, and then you find easily out where your preferred setting will be. Besides the harmonizers, the blue diamonds are the most efficient tools of the harmonizer system. In this case we have them placed on top of the speakers. As an electrostatic speakers they are pretty high, but this doesn't matter so much. We have placed them that way that the pin, the top, normally points downwards, because this opens up the sound stage a little bit more than using them the other way around. Using them on the speakers will give a more natural and more textured sound, and also increase the sound stage, make it a little bit more natural. We have some other blue diamonds mounted in the room which will have different characters. Some black diamonds, not the blue ones, these are too strong, which are mounted beside the speakers. You may adjust the height of the sound stage. About every 5 centimeters you change the difference, you will hear a clear and direct difference regarding how the soundstage is set up, and you can adjust it that way that it's most natural. There should be 2 black diamonds, 1 at each side of the speakers. You may also in this case use some furniture, whatever is there, to add them. You also may hide them in some furniture if you have the chance to, and the effect will be the same. Probably the most important blue diamond is the one in the middle of the listening room at the ceiling. It forms a kind of pyramid with the black stones which are located in the 4 corners of the room. What happens when you install a harmonizer system is that soundstage widens up in a big amount, and also the texture of the sound becomes much more natural, just as the depth of the sound stage, which also is going to get more deep, so that you get a more natural, lifelike performance of the music, because this is the most important thing. We are dealing with techniques, but the techniques is just a tool to get the music to your home.